शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत् तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। Om. Dear friends, welcome to the study of the Yoga Sutras. We just started this Sutra number 13. In the last class, we read Sutra 12 completely. Sutra 12 was about the Klesha Mulaha, Karmashayaha, Drushta, Adrushta Janma Vedaniyaha. That is, the Karmashaya is based on the Kleshas, and that gives fruit either in this Janma or in Adrushta Janma. Adrushta Janma is this life, and Adrushta Janma is the future life. So Adrushta literally means unknown. Instead of saying unknown, it has to be future only. It cannot be past. So, in Drushta, Adrushta Janma, Vedaniya. Vedaniya means to be experienced. So, that sutra we read, and we also started the 13th sutra, Sati Mule, Tad Vipakaha, Jati Ayur Bhogaha. I explained that sutra, and we just started the commentary also. I will now share the text. Yeah, Sati Mule, Tad Vipakaha, Jatyayur Bhogaha. Sati Mule, that is Mule Sati, Sati Saptami. That is when that Mula, when that root exists, naturally when the root is there, naturally at some point of time it will sprout and it will come up and then it will become a tree. Tad Vipakaha, Vipakaha, Vipaka is the result. Pachyate, Paka, Pachadhatu, Pachate, Pachyate. One meaning of it is getting cooked, but here of course not getting cooked. A fruit, something, a root. From that, a tree comes out, and then from the tree, flowers and fruits. So the result of that karma, the fruit of that karma. What is the fruit of that karma? Jati, Ayuhu, Bhogaha. Jati is to be born. Ayuhu, there is a lifespan. And Bhogaha. Bhogaha is collectively it is called Jatyayur Bhogaha. But here, Jatihi, Ayuhu, Bhogaha. Bhogaha means Bhujadhatu. Bhujadhatu literally means eating. Eating means eating the fruit of karma. That means experiencing the fruit of whatever good action or bad action we have done. So now, we now come to kleshas, which are not in roasted seed. Yeah, earlier Patanjali talked about all this Dagdha Bija and all that. Now from this sutra onwards, or even from the earlier sutra onwards, he is talking about the kleshas, which are not in a Dagdha Bija state, or Tanu Kurtaha and Dagdha Bijaha, they can be easily neutralized. We saw in the earlier sutras. Now we are facing the real problem. That is the problem of these things which are neither attenuated nor in the roasted state. So then, here the first line itself. This first line we read anyway. Satsu klesheshu karmashayaha vipakaram hi bhavati na uchinna kleshamulaha. Klesheshu satsu, while the kleshas still exist, karmashayaha, that stock of karma, vipaka arambhi bhavati. Vipakasya arambhi bhavati. That means it tends to give result. It tends to give result to that fruit. And not na uchinna kleshamulaha. Suppose the kleshamula is totally uprooted. When the root is when that klesha which is the root is totally uprooted, it cannot give any vipaka. So now we are talking about a situation where kleshas still exist. And here, of course, we may note that it is on something which is similar to what Vedanta says, that is self-knowledge eradicates all the past karma. When all the kleshas are gone, then here also in the Yoga Sutra, what do we see? Where there in Vedanta, we talk about Brahmajnana, or the self-knowledge, or self-realization. And here also, it is a self-realization only. Here too, it is what is that? Sattva, Purusha, Anyata, Khyati, we say. Sattva, that is Buddhi, Purusha, that is consciousness. The difference between Jada and Chaitana. The difference between Chitta and also that Purusha. Chaitanyam and Purusha, or Prakriti and Purusha. So that is what is the awareness we talk about here also. It is almost the same with Vedanta. So that is why we can also note the parallels between Vedanta and the Yoga Shastra. This line I think we read. Yatha tushavanadha shalitandulaha adagdha bija bhavaha praroha samarthaha bhavanti Just as the tusha avanadha, that is those which are covered with the husk, shali tandulaha, that is rice which is covered with husk means it is paddy. So that paddy, when it is not roasted, then naturally it is praroha samartha bhavanti. Praroha means germinating. Praroha is sprouting up or germinating. So praroha samartha, they become capable, they are capable of germinating. But not na apanita tushaha. Apanita tushaha tandulaha. Apanita tushaha tandulaha praroha samarthaha na bhavanti. That is apanita tusha means when the coat is removed. What is called in the, you go to a floor, a mill, and then in that rice mill they remove the coat. Some decortigation or something they say. So when the coat is removed, then what happens? Then they are even if again you bring the coat and then put it and then tie with the rope and whatnot, even then it has lost its ability to sprout. Na apanita tushaha dagdha bija bhavahava. Or when they are roasted, even the paddy grain itself, when you heat it up, then it loses its praroha samarthyam. Then similarly, tatha means similarly, kleshavanadha karmashaya, that is this karmashaya, this stock of karma which is associated with this klesha, when all these kleshas are there, then vipaka prarohi bhavati. Then it gives, it sprouts, it germinates, it causes the result. Na apanita kleshaha, na prasankhyan dagdha klesha bhavo va iti, na apanita kleshaha. Not when the kleshas are eradicated, not when the kleshas are eradicated. Na prasankhyana dagdha klesha bija bhavo va iti. Prasankhyana dagdha means prasankhyanena dagdha. Prasankhyanam means jnanam. Jnanena dagdha. Jnanena dagdha kleshaha. Kleshaha, when they are all destroyed by jnanam. Jnanagni dagdha karmanam, we say in Gita also. Jnanagni dagdha karmanam, or sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So we get so many lines from Gita and other places. Prasankhyanena dagdha klesha bija bhavaha. So it has attained that state of bija bhava. So that dagdha bija bhava. Prasankhyanena dagdha klesha bija bhavaha. That klesha has attained the state of dagdha bija bhava. Then, so I think up to this point we read it in the last class. Such a vipakaha trividho bhavati trividhaha, that result is threefold. What jatihi ayuhu bhogaha iti. Then this line, first that line also is there. The sutra itself says that. Then tatra idam vichariyate. From here we have to read tatra idam vichariyate. This point has to be inquired into. We have to inquire on this point. What there are so many karmas in one's lifespan. We do so many karmas, and how are we going to account for the result of all these karmas? When are they going to give result? So somebody has to talk about it. Strictly speaking, it may not be a sort of philosophical inquiry. Suddenly we may get a doubt. Vedanta, either Upanishad or Veda, what we call Vedanta or Yoga Shastra. Basically, it is a school of philosophy. But when we talk about the philosopher is thinking at a higher level. The philosopher is basically is inquiring into the nature of reality in a very logical way, in a very rational manner. And he arrives at some conclusion. Say, for example, in Vedanta, he arrives at the conclusion called, say, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, and then Tattvamasi, etc. And similarly, in the Yoga Sutra also, Sattva Purusha Anyata Khyati. So then, when a philosopher reaches that particular stage, then he then probably comes down to ground level to think about what is the framework for man's human action. What is the framework for morality? There should be some sort of framework for morality. People should be guided as to what to do and what not to do. Suppose you say that, yeah, you are Brahman. The street man also thinks, yes, I am Brahman, etc. Then you reach a stage where everybody says, I am Brahman, and he may like to do whatever he wants. So that is the reason why Brahmajnana is not taught to everybody, except to a totally disciplined mind. So now the philosopher also starts doing some speculation on how exactly the nature of karma has to be established. So he evolves some framework. So in the case of religions, what do? Religions follow the easy path. Religions usually follow the easy path. They say, okay, you trust in our God, he will take away all your sins. But we can't say in the case of philosophy. Yoga Sutra cannot say that, and Upanishad also cannot say that. Upanishad cannot say, okay, you trust in the God, he will take away all your sins. Even Bhagavad Gita does not say that. I think in the last class, I was referring to that shloka. Na adatte kasyachit papam. Fifth chapter it says, fifth chapter there is a shloka. Na adatte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukratam vibhuko. So God is not there to take away your sins or punya karmas. So the philosopher has to come into picture. The philosopher has to make some sort of analysis, and then he has to propose some sort of hypothesis. So this karma doctrine is a sort of hypothesis which is accepted. I was telling in the last class also, which is accepted by half of the humanity. And this is a very useful thing because it makes the human being responsible. It makes the human being responsible for his action. He doesn't think, okay, God has told me like this, go and do this, go and say do anything. I'm going to save you, etc. It doesn't say like that. You are responsible. So let us see. Idam vicharyate, tatra idam vicharyate, kim ekam karma, ekasya janmanah karanam. Ekam karma, one karma, ekasya janmanah karanam. Does it become the cause for one life? Or, atha means here in the sense of, or ekam karma aneka janma akshipati. One karma, does it give rise to so many lives? One karma you have done, maybe you have performed a yajna, or maybe you have performed some other good karma, or maybe some other bad karma. Is it going to give one life, or is it going to give several lives? That is one question. Then dvitiya vicharana, the second vicharana also. Kim anekam karma anekam janma nirvartayati. Kim anekam janma, anekam karma means several actions. Then anekam karma nirvartayati, anekam janma nirvartayati. Do they cause so many janmas? Anekam karma, anekam janmas. That is many karmas leading to many lives. Atha means or, anekam karma, ekam janma nirvartayati. Many janmas, many karmas leading to one life. Ekam janma. Anekam karma, ekam janma. So many actions leading to one life. So what are all the various options? What is the most, say here basically a principle of prudence, that's all. There is no hard and fast rule and he can't prove it also. If you ask Vyasa, sage Vyasa, not sage Vyasa, but Vyasa Bhashya, whoever has written it, if you want to prove it, you can't prove it. But it basically is a principle of prudence is employed here. So now let us see Dvitiya Vicharana. Na tavad ekam karma ekasya janmanah karanam. So he is ruling out the first option. That is, na tavad ekam karma, one karma, ekasya, one minute, what is the first vicharana? Kim anekam janma, kim ekam janma, yeah, ekasya. So yeah, na tavad ekam janma, ekasya janmanah karanam. So one karma cannot be the cause of one life. So which means that in a human being's say lifespan, we do thousands and thousands of karmas. So many lives have to be, we have to be born so many times, and we have to take up so many lives. And again, in those so many lives, we will be doing again a series of karmas. So it will be endless. It will go on endlessly. So one karma cannot be the cause of one life, because in which case, I have done say 1,000 karmas in this life. So these 1,000 karmas, in order to experience the fruit of these 1,000 karmas, I have to have 1,000 lives. So then, why kasmat anadikala prachitasya asankheyasya avashishtasya karmanaha. So anadikala prachitasya. So it has been accumulated for a long time. Anadikalat prachitam. Anadikala prachitam is anadikalat prachitam. Prachitam is accumulated. Chayanam dhatu. What is it? For endless past, let us say, for long time, you have accumulated in the past so many lives. Asankheyasya, uncountable. Sankhyeya means something which can be counted. Asankhyeya means it cannot be counted. Then avasishtasya karmanaha. So in this life itself, we have done so many karmas. And what about all the past lives? In the past lives, there is innumerable, uncountable karmas. So for all those karmas, And also sampratikasya cha. Sampratikam means sampratam. Sampratam is now present times. This life. Sampratikasya means karma belonging to this life. Sampratikasya cha. Phalakrama aniyamat. There cannot be any order for all this phalakrama. When is that karma? The karma which was done some thousand births ago. One karma I have done some 1,000 births ago. Then again, when is it going to come? That like it will be like Supreme Court cases. Supreme Court cases, millions and millions of cases will be pending in the courts. So they don't come. They don't come for for inquiry. So that will be the problem. Sampratikasya cha. Phalakrama aniyamat. There cannot be any order. There cannot be any sequence. So if that is so, then people will lose faith in the whole system. Like we lose faith in our justice system, we lose faith in various institutions. Lokasya anashvasaha prasaktaha. Anashvasaha means lack of faith. Anashvasaha prasaktaha. Prasaktaha means it happens, it takes place. Anashvaso lokasya prasaktaha. Sacha anishtaha. So that is something, that is the situation which is not very desirable. Then another possibility. Naja ekam karma anekasya janmanah karanam. Again, this is a very, very simple logic. Naja ekam karma, one karma, it cannot be the cause for so many lives. Why? Because even if one karma gives rise to one janma, we had a big problem. If one karma is likely to give rise to so many lives, then the problem will be exponentially, it will grow. Kasmat anekeshu karmasu ekaikameva karma. Anekasya janmanah karanam. Anekeshu karmasu. Among so many karmas, ekaikameva karma. One karma. Anekasya janmanah karanam. So that becomes the cause for so many janmas. Iti avasishtasya, for all the remaining, for all the backlog of cases in the court, let us say, vipaka kala abhava prasaktaha. So vipaka kala, the time of fruition. The vipaka kala, that is the time of fruition. When is it likely to, when is he going to deliver the judgment? So that is kala abhavaha. It's simply not possible, because even if one karma leads to one action, one karma leads to one janma, even then the problem is there. Now if one karma leads to several lives, the problem will be, it will be too much. So vipaka kala abhava prasaktaha, sachapi anishtaha, even that is something which is not desirable. Then nacha anekam karma anekasya janmanah karanam. Anekam karma, several karmas leading to several lives. Even that is not possible, because all these several karmas, they have to act on one jiva only, because the same jiva is continuing in all these lives. The same jiva means the same subtle body with all the backlog of karma, the karma we are carrying, we are as though like donkeys carrying all this backlog for life after life. One Upanishad that says Trunajaluka. Trunajaluka is something, one small caterpillar moving from one leaf to another leaf. It first catches hold of the other leaf and then slowly moves on to slowly draws itself to the other leaf. So like that, you are moving on from one body to another. So it goes on and down unendingly. Nacha anekam karma anekasya janmanah karanam. Tasmat tad anekam janma yugapatna sambhavati iti kramena iva vachyam. Yugapatna sambhavati, because they all have to act on one jiva. So one jiva cannot exist in 1,000 bodies. If it were to be possible, okay, I am also existing in this body. I am also existing in somebody else's body. So 1,000 bodies, it will be okay, but it's not possible. Yugapatra sambhavati iti. Kramena eva vachyam. It has to be told in a serial fashion only. A sequential pattern of birth and death. Today I have not translated it correctly. I have just made some rough points only. I have noted it as just broad points only. I have not done the correct translation. Tasmat janma prayanantare krutaha punya karmashaya prachayah vichitraha. Tasmat, therefore, janma prayanantare krutaha. Janma prayana is the same as prayana kala, as Gita says. Prayana kala is the time of death. Janma prayanantare, between janma and prayana kala, between birth and death, whatever punya, whatever karma we have done, punya apunya karma ashaya prachaya. Prachaya means that accumulation. Prachaya, prakashriyana chitah. So that is something which is an accumulated thing for the whole lifetime. Then how does it adjust itself? It adjusts itself in the fashion of pradhana upasarjana bhavena avasthitaha. Pradhana upasarjana bhavena. Pradhana means the main thing. Upasarjana is secondary. It is somewhat like writing our CV or something like that. If you are asked to write your CV, what will you write? Whatever are the bright points we write. So all those bright points and achievements. So similarly here also, in that whatever we say Chitragupta or something like that, Pradhana Upasarjana Bhavena. Of course, Chitragupta is not accepted in either in philosophy, Vedanta or in Yoga Shastra. Chitragupta is the mention comes only in Puranas. Chitragupta, Yamadharmaraja, etc. They are all mythological characters. So what is told in philosophy is told in the form of a mythology by somebody else. A person of religion translates this philosophy into mythology for the purpose of common man. So this pradhana upasarjana bhavena avasthitah. So pradhana bhava and upasarjana. Upasarjana is secondary. What is more important or more what can we say, prominent and secondary. Bhavena avasthitah, it is existing there. Prayana vivyaktaha. Prayana vivyaktaha means at the time of prayana, at the time of death, whatever are the manifest, whatever are the that level of maturity at that particular state at that time. So that is why we in Gita also we say that 8th adhyaya, it talks about Antya Bhavana, at the time of death. Yanyam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. There is some sloka like that. Whatever idea, that final thought at the time of death comes to your mind, and that final thought, it depends on the accumulated vasanas over a period of time. Suddenly, if the man wants to, if he wants to remember Narayana, he cannot remember Narayana. That joke in Telugu also we know. Somebody asks him to say Narayana, so he doesn't say Narayana. So anyway, prayana vivyaktaha eka praghattanena. Eka praghattanena means in one go. Eka praghattanena means in one go. Maranam prasadhya. Prasadhya, it achieves or it results in death. Prasadhya, sadhana. Prasadhya means having achieved death or having caused death. Then sammurchitaha. Sammurchitaha means pindikrutaha. All these accumulated, all this karma ashaya, so many karmas coming together, several karmas coming together. Vichitraha. Vichitra means something which is very, very strange. Vichitraha. Ekameva janma karoti. So finally what he says is, janma prayanantare krutaha prachayaha vichitraha. Pradhana upasarjana bhavena avasthitaha. It is present in the form of prominent and secondary. Then prayana vivyaktaha. In one go, they cause only one, they get amalgamated, let us say, sammurchitaha, they get amalgamated or activated. Ekameva janma karoti, they produce only one janma. So that is the, say, conclusion, a very prudent conclusion which he reaches. Then, tacha janma, tenaiva karmana labdhayushkam bhavati. Tacha janma, that particular janma. Tena eva karmana, by that karma only. Karma means not only one karma, but that that accumulated or amalgamated karma. Labdha ayushkam bhavati. That means it attains its ayush. Ayush means it attains its lifespan. Whatever is the lifespan depends on that old karma, that whole baggage of karma. Labdha ayushkam bhavati. Tasmin ayushi tena eva karmana bhogaha sampadyate. In that particular life, tena eva karmana bhogaha sampadyate. So tena eva karmana, by that karma only, by that the action only, he attains that bhoga in accordance with whatever karma he has done. Bhoga means not necessarily enjoyment, that eating the fruit. Bhoga, experiencing the fruit of that karma. Sampadyate means he attains. So that span of life is determined by that karma. In that life, the fruit of karma is determined by that karma only. Asau karmashayah janma ayur bhoga hetutvat. Asau karmashayah. This particular karmashaya or this baggage of karma or this stock of karma, because it is giving rise to janma ayu bhoga. Earlier he used the word jatyayur bhoga. Now he is using the word Janma Ayurbhoga, both one and the same. Janma Ayurbhoga is the same as Jati Ayurbhoga. Janma Ayurbhoga Hetutvat Trivipakaha Abhidhiyate. So this Karmashaya is also called Trivipakaha. That is giving threefold result. Trivipaka, threefold fruit, three types of fruit. Abhidhiyate, Abhidhiyate means it is told, threefold. Janma, Ayuhu, Bhoga. Ataha एकभविकः कर्माशयः उक्तः इति अतः कर्माशयः एकभविकः उक्तः that is the अन्वय अतः कर्माशयः therefore कर्माशय the start of karma एकभविकः means leading to one life एकमेव जन्म करोति एकभविकः इति उक्तः. So that is hence the baggage of karma is said to be ekabhavika, that is the cause of only one life. So these words we have to remember. For example, he says trivipaka. Trivipaka means giving rise to three results. Ekabhavikaha. Ekabhavikaha means only one life. If in one life only, there janma, ayurbhoga, those three factors are there. So that is why he said trivipaka. Then ekabhavika. Ekabhavika is only one life. Karmashaya, ekabhavika. Then again, earlier also we saw some terms. What are these terms? Prayana. Prayana is one word. Pradha, Upasarjana, it's a general word. So certain words we are still going to see. These are, we have to remember these words. Ekabhavikaha. Ekabhavika, again and again this comes. Ekabhavika means a karma or a group of, a package of karmas giving only one, resulting in one life. That is ekabhavikaha. Then drushtajanma vedaniyastu drushtajanma vedaniya. This is again one term which we have to remember. This comes from Sutra number 12. Drushtajanma vedaniya, drushtajanma vedaniya. That is 12th Sutra talked about. Drushtajanma vedaniya means vedaniya means to be experienced. Drushtajanma vedaniya means to be experienced in this drushtajanma, in this present janma. Drushtajanma vedaniyastu. एक विपाकारं हि भोगहेतुत्वात्. It may be एक विपाकारं हि. It may just lead to one vipaka, or द्विविपाकारं हि वा आयुर्भोगहेतुत्वात् नन्दीश्वरवत् नहुषवद्वा इति. द्विविपाकारं हि. It may give rise to one particular type of bhoga, or it can give rise to two different types of bhoga. In the same life, it can lead to two different types. Divipakaram hiva, ayurbhoga hetutva, Nandishwaravad, Nahushavadva iti. So it seems Nandishwara was an ordinary man in the beginning, and he got some sort of extended lifespan. Shiva, Lord Shiva, because of the grace of Lord Shiva, he got an extended lifespan. From a human being, he turned into a god. And then Nahusha, a human being, he became Devendra. He became Devendra, and that Devendra's post he lost. He lost, and then he was thrown down. And then when he came down as a huge, what is that? Python, as a huge python. And nowadays we call it anaconda, a huge python. So he came down, and we see in Mahabharata, Nahusha Prashna. So Nahusha, in lifetime, it immediately changed. Similarly for Nandi, in one lifetime, from one level, he jumped to another level. Similarly in the case of Nahusha. So that is Dvivipaka. Eka Vipakarampi, Dvivipakarampi. Then, let us see. Now he is talking about the mind, which is a sort of storehouse for innumerable impressions. The mind is a storehouse. It is somewhat like a painting, a huge painting, which is the mind. It is a canvas on which so many things are painted. The mind is a canvas on which so many imprints are there. He is saying that klesha karma vipakanubhava nirvartidabhihi tu again klesha karma vipaka anubhava nirvartidabhihi. Klesha, we know all these five pancha kleshas leading to karma, and that karma leading to vipaka, and that vipaka anubhava, that result has to be experienced. Vipaka vedaniyam, that is what anubhava. So this when karma anubhava comes, then that karmanubhava leaves an impression in our mind. That is what is called vasana or samskara or vasana. So these vasanas, nirvartita vistu vasana vihi, by those nirvartita means caused by this experience of so many karmas, caused by the experience of so many karma phalas of innumerable lives. Vasana vihi, anadikala sammurchitam, anadikalat, from endless past, all these things they have accumulated. The mind is a bundle of all those things. Sammurchitam. Sammurchitam is a peculiar word. Sampinditam, that is the meaning given here. Sammurchitam. Yeah, anadikala sammurchitam. Yes, and that is in one way. That is all these things put together. They are in a sort of amalgamated form. Sammurchitam idam chittam. Vichitri krutamiva. It is as though it is painted. There is a Patha Veda also, Chitri Krutamiva. My book says Chitri Krutamiva, whereas this KMY Yoga edition says Chitri Krutamiva. Chitri Krutam. It is as though painted. We were referring to Chitragupta. Chitragupta also is a peculiar name, you see. Chitra, in a wonderful fashion. Chitra Gupta. Gupa, what is the meaning of Gupta? Gupta means one who protects. Gopane. Chitra Gupta means wonderfully he protects. Wonderfully protects all. What does he protect? He protects the entire karma and karma phala. He has such great algorithms. Somewhat like a mighty computer, supercomputer. So he has got algorithms, and then he maintains. So that is why he is called Chitra Gupta. Very wonderfully protecting the karma and karma phala, this account of karma. So by the time we read this whole para, then we will understand how difficult Chitragupta's role is. Vichitri Krutamiva. Sarvato Matsyajalam Granthibhiriva Atatam. Sarvataha Matsyajalam. Matsyajalam is that fisherman's net, fishing net, let us say. Not fisherman's net, that fisherman is not mentioned here. Fish only is mentioned. So fishing net, Matsyajalam, that fishing net with so many knots in it. Atatam. Atatam is just spread out. Adatam ityetaha aneka bhava purvikaha vasanaha. All these vasanas, they are all aneka bhava purvikaha. Bhava means birth, janma. Bhava means janma. Bhava bhaya hara, we say bhava bhaya hara is one who removes the fear of this janma. So bhava is janma. Aneka bhava purvikaha vasanaha means these are all the products. They are the result of endless number of lives. So many vasanas are there accumulated. And these vasanas are products of several lives. Then what happens? Yastvayam karmashayaha yeshaha yesha eva ekabhavikaha uktaha. So all this karma ashaya only is ekabhavikaha uktaha. So it is termed as ekabhavika. That is something which gives rise to one birth. Then ye samskaraha smruti hetavaha. Ye samskaraha smruti hetavaha. So these samskaras, which are the cause for the memory, which cause the memory, which come to the memory, all this memory means the smruti actually, we can say the tendency. Smruti is not actually something recalled to memory, but it is a general tendency. Suppose I am born with a particular tendency. So those tendencies have come from endless number of past lives. Endless number of past lives, they have caused a particular type of propensity in me, a particular type of tendency in me. So with all those tendencies, I am born. So with sort of, what can we say, predetermined say tendencies. So these are all coming from endless number of lives. So these are smruti hetavaha. Taha vasanaha. Smruti, not exactly memory of a particular event. It is just a tendency caused by the experience of a particular karma phala. Smruti hetavaha taha vasanaha. They are the vasanaha. Tasya anadikalinaha. They are coming from endless past. Anadikalinaha. Here, of course, he is making a very slight distinction between vasanas created by karmashaya. Yastvayam karmashayaha. So yesha ekabhavikaha uktaha iti. Ye samskaraha smruti hetavaha ta vasanaha. So this slight distinction between vasanas created by karmashaya and the vasanas of innumerable past lives. So this particular janma, I have done a lot of action. So this karmashaya is also leading to some samskaras. In addition to these samskaras, there are some vasanas of earlier lives also. So it appears as though he is making a slight distinction between these two. Then yastvasau ekabhavikah karmashayah yaha tu asau. I could have split it, I have not yet split. Yastu asau yaha tu asau ekabhavikah karmashayah. So this particular ekabhavika karmashaya which we are talking about, that is the stock of karma which is going to lead to one life. So this is again two types. Is again talking of some more differentiation. What is that? Saha niyata vipakascha aniyata vipakascha. So this karmashaya is again of two types, because there are so many karmas. So in so many karmas we have done some major karmas and some minor karmas also. Some major karma, suppose I have done some Ashwamedha Yaga or something like that, or some other Brahaspati Yaga. So if I have done like that, so that entitles me to go to some Brahmaloka. But Ashwamedha Yaga, only a king is competent to do. Brahaspati Yaga, only a rishi, a sage is competent to do. So anyway, or any other yaga leading to some swarga, let us say. So that is niyata vipaka. So this niyata vipaka can be negative also. It can be, for example, some hatya. Suppose somebody has murdered. So that murder, there is an assured punishment. There is a very specific or specified punishment for that. For some great good action, let us say, some great good action, for some remarkable good action, there is a remarkable result, and which is specified. For any great patakam or great sin, there is also a specified punishment. So that is the reason why in Dharma Shastra we talk about Mahapataka and Upapataka. Mahapataka are major sins, Upapataka are minor sins. Even in law, the present day law also we see, we find grave offences and also non-grave offences. And even among non-grave offences, there are what are called non-cognizable offences. In law, we see non-cognizable offences which the court doesn't take into cognizance immediately. So like that. So there are certain things, niyata vipaka. Niyata vipaka means certain major things, major actions for which that some vipaka or result is specified. Niyata. Niyata is something which is determined. Aniyata, something which is undetermined, depending on whatever the judge's mood or something like that, he gives a punishment. So like that, aniyata vipakascha. Vipaka, this karma phala, is something which is aniyata, not very well specified. But niyata vipaka is something which has to be experienced. That also is another point. Niyata vipaka is something which has to be experienced. Suppose there is a hatya done, so he has to jolly well go to jail. So whereas aniyata vipaka, there is something which is some other minor offense he has done. So for that, there can be some alternatives. He need not go to jail. Maybe he may pay some fine or something like that. So aniyata vipakascha. Then such stock of karma giving rise to one life gives result in two ways, that is specified and non-specified result. So this word also we have to remember, because this niyata vipaka, aniyata vipaka, it is coming again and again. Niyata vipaka is a good or bad karma for which the result is specified and which will be experienced. Aniyata vipaka is something, a karma, where the result of a karma, where the result is not very well specified. You may alter it, you may neutralize it. If it is a bad one, you may neutralize it. So all these things are there. So there is one more classification, that is niyata vipaka and aniyata vipaka. Tatra drushtajanma vedaniyasya niyata vipakasya eva ayam niyamaha. Again, one more term you see, drushtajanma vedaniya. We should not be confused or terrified by these words, because these words again, for students of Vedanta, these words are rather strange. Maybe these words are very common in Buddhism also. We have to read some Buddhist literature. So tatra drushtajanma vedaniyasya niyata vipakasya eva ayam niyamaha. So this rule, what he is talking about, this ekabhavika rule, it is regarding drushtajanma vedaniyasya. That is something which has to be experienced in the dushta janma, the present janma. Niyata vipakasya. Niyata vipaka means that which is intended to give a definite result. Niyata vipakasya. Only for the specified result. A karma which gives a specified result in the current life. अयं नियमः न तु अदृष्टजन्मवेदनीयस्य अनियतविपाकस्य. So not for this rule is only for this ekabhivikatva rule is only for this niyama is only for what for the drushtajanma vedaniya, and that too where there is niyata vipaka, that is assured vipaka, that is a major good or major bad, let us say. Natu adrushtajanma vedaniyasya aniyata vipakasya, and not for some adrushtajanma vedaniyam, something to be experienced in some adrushtajanma, something to be experienced in a future janma, and that too aniyata vipaka, that too where the specific, where the karma phala is not specified, either for a good action or a bad action, the karma phala is not specified. Aniyata vipakasya. So unknown life, unknown, unspecified karma phala. So let us see the translation. Not translation, just a point. This rule is only for the specific specified result to be experienced in the current life. It does not apply to the unspecified result to be experienced in future lives. So specified result like killing of a person, specified result or yajna, resulting in heaven. Minor offense, unspecified vipaka. Then kasmat, why? Why is it so? Why is it so? What about the unspecified result of a future life? What about the unspecified result of a future life? So that it can be handled in different ways, he says. Suppose some minor thing has been committed. So that minor thing can be neutralized in several ways. So kasmat yohi adrushtajanma vedaniyaha yaha hi yohi adrushtajanma vedaniyaha, that karma phala which has to be experienced in adrushtajanma, in a future life, something which has to be experienced in a future life. Aniyata vipakaha, and where this vipaka also is aniyata, where that karma phala is not specified. So for that, tasya trayi gatihi. So it has got three courses, three ways in which it can be handled. That is, what is that? Krutasya abhipakvasya nashaha. Krutasya abhipakvasya nashaha. You have done some action, and avipakva, it has not yet ripened, it has not yet given result. So that can be destroyed. How? Punyena papam apanudati. For example, there is a famous saying in Dharma Shastra, Punyena papam apanudati. So there is some all various minor papams are there. So that is the reason why we are encouraged to do various punyams, because without our knowledge, we may commit certain minor say sins. So for all these minor sins, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to do some, what is this, Panchamahayajnas, what is this, Atithi Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, etc., etc. So that we can destroy these karmas which have been minor karmas which we have done unknowingly. So krutasya avipakvasya nashaha. Then pradhana karmani avapagamanam va. Pradhana karmani avapagamanam. So there is a main result which is coming. Suppose there is a main result which is coming. In that main result, it gets merged. Avapagamanam. Avapa again is a technical word. Avapa, if you see that Shabdakalpadruma or any dictionary, avapa is pradhana homa. For the word avapa, the meaning given is ava, the pradhana homa or mukhya homa. So there is one mukhya homa which is going on. Mukhya homa which is going on. In that mukhya homa, you add one or two more mantras. So there is some big homa which is going on. You want to do some small puja also in between. So okay, you can add on to that. So it can be a sort of add-on. It can be a sort of add-on. So karmani avapagamanam va. Karmani means karma phale. Pradhana karmani avapagamanam. Karma is over. Karma is long ago over. Karma means we are not talking about the karma phala. Karmani avapagamanam. Avapagamanam means getting added on to that. Getting added on to that. Or niyata vipaka pradhana karmana abhibhutasya va. Niyata vipaka pradhana karmana abhibhutasya va. Chiram avasthanam. So third course is there is a strong activity, there is a strong result. There is a strong result which I am experiencing. There is strong karma phala which I am experiencing. In that strong karma phala, suppose I have done great punyam and then I am experiencing a great mighty state. Let us say Shukra Mahardasha or some such state. In that Shukra Mahardasha also I am in a high position. So at that time, my minor offense committed long ago, it gets subdued, it gets suppressed for some time, and then it is relegated to the background. It gets relegated to the background and it is there waiting. It may not be destroyed, it is just kept waiting for a long time. So like that, niyata vipaka, that is definitely giving result. Pradhana karmana, niyata vipaka, pradhana karmana. This is a main karma. Here karma is not karma action itself. It is karma phala. We are talking about karma phala. Pradhana karmana abhibhutaha. Abhibhuta means defeated or suppressed. Abhibhutasya va chiram avasthanam. It is waiting for a long time, lying in wait. So it's like somebody is in a very high position. When he gets defeated only, that old file will be dug up. Suppose somebody is in a very prominent position and he is able to suppress that particular file. So when that man goes out of position, then that old file can be dug up. So something like that. Niyata vipaka pradhana karmana abhibhutasya. Abhibhuta is something which is kept suppressed. Chiram avasthanam. It is lying for a long time. So the unspecified vipaka to be experienced in an unknown future life can have three courses. What is it? One is nullification of the krutasya avipakvasya, which has not yet given fruit. And then by some penance, suppose there is some penance I may do, some what is this, tapas or austerity, or I may do some punya. Then again, avapagamanam, that is getting merged in some other major result. And again, niyata vipaka pradhanasya. The analogy with the avapa. Avapa is a term used in yajna, which is the main ritual in which minor additions may be made. Pradhana karmana abhibhutasya va chiram avasthanam. Or it is just lying there for a long time. Tatra krutasya avipakvasya nashaha yatha. Oh, he is also explaining how. Krutasya avipakvasya nashaha. So you have done some karma, avipakva, it has not yet given result. Tasya nashaha, how can it be destroyed or how can it be neutralized? Yatha shukla karma udayat ihaiva nashaha krishnasya shukla karma udayat. So these are all terms which are used in this yoga text. Shukla karma, Krishna karma. Shukla is white, Krishna is black. You can say dark. In English we use the words dark deeds, we say. So somewhat like the dark deeds. Shukla karmodayat ihaiva nashaha krishnasya. By the fructification of Shukla karma udayat, by the fructification of good karma, ihaiva, in this life only, nashaha krishnasya, that old file gets nullified, destroyed. The nashaha krishnasya, the nullification of waiting karma, that is white karma, nullifies the waiting vipaka. Waiting vipaka, that is avipakva of dark karma. Then again, so similarly in this context only it is said, yatra idamuktam. In this context, yatra is in this context, idamuktam. Dve havai karmani veditavye papakasya eko rashihi punyakruto apahanti rashihi punyakruto apahanti. Dve havai karmani veditavye. Two types of karmas have to be known. It should be known that there are two types of karmas. There is a stock of good karma, there is a stock of bad karma. Papakasya eko rashihi. Papakasya eko rashihi means papakarmanam ekah rashihi. There is one rashi. Rashi is a big heap of karma phala. There is a huge heap of karma phala. Say papa karma. So how do you get it nullified? By some good karma. Punya krutaha apahanti. Punya krutaha means people who do some good actions. Punya krut, like shloka krut, kavya krut. Punya krut. Punya krutaha means people who do some good actions. Punya krutaha apahanti. Apahanti means they destroy. Apahanana. Punya krutaha apahanti. So by people who do good karmas, they destroy this papakasya eko rashi. This Punya Rashi he is not mentioning. Only Papa Rashi he has mentioned. So Punya Kruto apahanti. The people who do some good actions, they don't neutralize. Tad ichchasva. Tad means tasmat. Hence, ichchasva. Ichchasva means you desire. You wish to do some good karma. Ichchasva karmani sukrutani kartum. Ichchasva karmani sukrutani kartum. So you please desire. You do desire to do some good actions. Ihaiva, in this life. Te iti karma kavayo vadante. You have to do iti karma. Kavayah means the wise people. Kavi is only a wise person. Kavi is also, we use that name to Lord also, Kavi. So coming Kavinam, that also is there. Kavayah Vedayante means they tell us. Vedayanti, they tell us what you please do good karma. So that is what the wise people tell us. Then pradhana karmani avapagamana. The second option is pradhana karmani. In another dominant thing, it is getting merged. It is getting added on. Avapagamana. Yatra idam uktam syat swalpaha sankaraha sapariharah sapratyavamarshah kushalasya na apakarshaya alam. Syat has to be brought to this last point. Usually we know in Sanskrit, whatever word we use in English sentence at the end, it comes in the very beginning. Syat swalpaha. Swalpaha means a small action. Sankaraha, which has got mixed up. Then sapariharaha, which can be remedied. Where there is a remedy for that. Sapariharaha, there is a remedy for that. Then sapratyavamarshah. Even then it can be tolerated also. Amarsha, you know, amarsha. Amarsha is toleration, tolerance. Pratyavamarshah. Amarsha is, prati avamarsha. Anyway, I have to check up again. Amarsha, is it tolerance or intolerance? Amarsha. Avamarsha, I have to check up anyway. We'll check up. Sapratyavamarshah. Overall, it means that which can be tolerated. Prati avamarsha. Pratyavamarshah. That is that which can be tolerated. Then kushalasya na apakarshaya alam. Kushalasya karmanaha athava kushalasya karma phalasya. Kushalam karma again is punya karma. Gita also we get this word nadveshtya kushalam karma kushalena anushajyate, something like that. Nadveshtya kushalam karma kushalena anushajyate. Akushalam, that is jnani. He was talking about jnani. So jnani does not hate akushala karma and he does not get engaged in kushala karma also. He is above all those. So kushalasya, that is good karma, na apakarshaya alam syat. So it cannot negate. Apakarshana means negating. Kushalasya karmanam apakarshanaaya na alam bhavati iti. So it is not enough. Na alam syat. It is not capable of a small, say, mixed up karma. A small karma which is mixed up. It can be either remedied or it can be tolerated, and even then it cannot. It is not capable of neutralizing the good karma. Kasmat kushalam hime bahu anyadasti. Kushalam hime, it is not va, it should be ba. Kushalam hime bahvanyadasti. Yeah, I think I have to. Bahvanyadasti, it is ba. Kushalam hime bahu anyadasti. There is a typographic. There are certain typographical errors in that Yoga Vaishakati text also. Kushalam hime bahu anyadasti. Yeah, my bundle of good activities or good karma. There is a lot of good karma, he says. Kushalam hime bahu anyadasti. Yatrayam avapam gataha. Where it has got mixed up. Swargepi apakarsham alpam karishyati. Even in heaven, Swargepi alpam apakarsham karishyati. It can only make a small difference to me. It can only make a minor difference to me. Like Dharmaraja goes to heaven, where he doesn't see his brothers. Then he asks, where are my brothers? So you want to see your brothers? Come, let us go to the portals of hell. So he enters the portals of hell for the fault of saying Ashwathama hataha kunjaraha. So a man like Dharmaraja, briefly he goes at the portals of hell. So bahu anyadasti yatra ayam avapam gataha, where it got mixed up. Swargepi apakarsham alpam karishyati. Even in heaven, even the heaven. Apakarsha means that is neutralizing, or karshanam means drawing, apakarshanam means drawing away. Apakarshati, alpam karishyati means it cannot draw it away, it cannot pull it away, it cannot take away or snatch away the good karma. So what is it getting mixed up with dominant karma? A minor error which has got mixed up with good karma, it is remediable or which it is bearable, and hence it is not strong enough to take away the good karma. Example of Dharmaraja briefly at the portals of hell. So here these words we have to note. Kushala karma is good karma. Akushala karma is bad karma. Aklishta, klishta, aklishta, not associated with any klesha. Here klishta karma. Then shukla karma, krishna karma. Shukla is white and krishna is dark. That is good karma and bad karma. Punya karma, papa karma. Punya and papa are the common terms. These are the terms which we find in Shastra texts. So then there is some more thing, niyata karma, and there's some more discussion is there. Now I think the time is over. Should we read one more line? Niyata vipaka pradhana karmana avibhutasya va chiram avasthanam. Yeah, this line we will see. Niyata vipaka pradhana karmana avibhutasya va. So there is a pradhana karma, there is a dominant thing. As I said, I am in very Shukra Mahardasha, and I am in a very high position. My old file is, it is hushed up, let us say, like it happens in the case of several VIPs. So pradhana karmana abhibhutaha. It is there lying for a long time. Somebody is holding it on to pick you at the right time. So niyata vipaka pradhana karmana abhibhutasya va chiram avasthanam. It is lying there for a long time, or it can lay suppressed for a long time by the dominant karma with specified result. Dominant karma with specified result, it is in operation. Right now, he is in a high position. So this minor offense which he had done long ago, it is just lying in wait. So I think we'll stop here. Sufficiently burdened with the discussion on karma, I think. Because all this thing, it shows how great, how important Chitragupta's position is, or how difficult Chitragupta's position is. There is still some more similar discussion on the same lines using certain similar words. So you kindly read it again and again so that you will be able to follow the next class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm just checking for questions. Meanwhile, there are a lot of appreciations about the setup of your studio.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
The question from Shivkumar ji is, sir, why dark actions are associated with Krishna?
Yeah, Krishna, when we use the word Krishna, Karshati iti Krishna. There, when we refer to Lord Krishna, Bhakta Jananam Papan Karshati. Akarshana, we use the word Akarshana. Akarshana, Samantat, Karshana, fully. That is Bhakta Jananam Papan Karshati. So he pulls away, he pulls out those things. But Krishna also means dark. So Krishna karma. So Krishna karma, anything dark is associated with something nefarious. So something like that. Shukla, something which is white, so transparent. It is so light, bright light and transparent. Dark means some dark deed or something which is nefarious, concealed. So that way, a figurative use of the word, that's all. Only a figurative way.
That's also, there is only one question so far. And I would like to make an announcement regarding our postponement of our class from next class onwards. Yes, we are planning to shift the class from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. On every Mondays and Thursdays. The days will be same, but the timings will be from...
If it is not inconvenient to all of them.
Yeah.
It is not inconvenient, because in the morning, I have to hurry up, that's the only thing. Slightly hurry up. So if it is okay for students, it is okay, it will be 10:30.
Yeah. Preeti ji says perfect 10:30 is better.
Okay.
So we'll try next class at 10:30 and we'll see if there are any further suggestions from the
Okay. Next class also the discussion is almost the same. So kindly go through what we have studied today. Okay. Thank you.
So most of them are voting for 10:30, sir. So
okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hari Om. That's it.